In this video, I'm going to show you how to add reflection and lighting to your renderings using Podium. So I want to show you the end result first so you can understand what we're working towards. So I'm going to click on this image of this very simple interior showing a rendering. And in this image right here, you can see, here's my SketchUp mirror right here. And you can see that it is now in this Podium rendering that it's reflecting what I have on the other side of the room. So I have this image outside of my window, and you can see that image outside the window now. You can also see that I added a very simple light to this lamp. So you see in SketchUp right here, we don't see that reflection. That reflection has to be added in Podium. So take a look at the mirror right here and then look at the mirror here. So I'm going to close that so you can see that it's reflecting what I have on the other side. So it's reflecting this image of this Italian seaside village. So now I'm going to switch back to scene 3 and I'll show you how to add that reflection on a material. So I brought this mirror in through the 3D warehouse. So I searched 3D warehouse and I placed the mirror on the wall. This mirror is a component, so I need to edit the component in order to change this centered area into a mirrored surface. So I'm going to click on the component, right click, and hit Edit Component. Now I want to be able to select this center area because that is the area that I want to be mirrored. Remember, sometimes when you bring in components, they will all be grouped together and you may need to right-click and explode the component in order to get the center area selected. So I already exploded this component, so I don't need to do that, but just remember that you may need to explode the component. But always, before you explode, make sure that you're in the Edit Component mode. So I want this area right here to be the mirrored surface. You can see how it is highlighted. So it has all the little dots all over it. So we know that we're able to paint this material now. In order to change this to a mirrored surface, I need to select the paint bucket. The next thing that I'll do is I'll go to select the mirrored surfaces. So I'm going to click where it says colors here, and I'm going to make sure I have select highlighted there. So I'm going to click colors, and then I'm going to go down to glass and mirrors right here. The first item is mirror 1. So I will click on that, and then I'll paint the center material the mirrored surface. Now again, it just looks gray. It is not going to show any reflection until we add the reflection in Podium. So now that I've painted that center surface a mirrored surface, now I need to change the settings in Podium. So I'm going to deselect that area, and then I'm going to select the Properties area of the Podium menu right here. So I'm going to click that Properties menu, and then what I'm able to do is I'm able to use this eyedropper, and I can select any area in my model, and then I can come and change the reflection value of the area I selected. So I'm going to select this eyedropper, and then I'm going to select the mirrored area right here. And watch what happens in this box right here. As I go to select that, notice it's recognizing that that's a mirrored surface because I changed that in SketchUp. And then all you do is you come down here and you change it to 100% reflection because that is the reflection that you would see in a mirror. And then you simply hit Apply and Close. Our next step is to go to the Podium rendering icon to make sure that this mirrored surface is reflecting what's on the other side of the room. So I'm just going to quickly hit the Render Current Scene icon. And as it's working through the rendering, just one important thing I want to remind you is that you have to make sure that what you have on the other side of the room in this mirrored reflection is complete. So I have an image out that window, so it will show that image in my rendering. But if you don't have anything on the other side, all it's going to reflect is the SketchUp world, which is, the sky and the green ground line. So make sure that you know that when you're placing your mirrors and when you're working on reflection, that you have to have the other side of the room finished. So here I'm going to click on this image and just make sure that we are seeing that this image my image out the window is reflected in the mirror. Now I'm zoomed in on the lamp in the same space. And what I'm trying to show you here is that you can apply a metal finish onto a component that you bring in from SketchUp, and you can also get that same reflective look. Obviously, you don't want it to be 100% reflection like you would see in a mirror, but you can paint it a metal material, and then it could look like a polished chrome, a stainless steel material, so you get that high reflection. So for this lamp, I'm going to paint it. I'm going to select the material under metals, and I'm just going to paint it an aluminum material. I know it's probably not going to be made out of aluminum, but I'm just trying to get the look of, let's say, a polished chrome material. So I'm going to paint the areas that I have selected right here in that polished aluminum. After I'm done with that, I'm going to go up to the properties, and I'm going to use my eyedropper and select that material. You can see that it's an aluminum material. Then I'm going to change the reflection. If you wanted to do 100%, you could. It would be a very highly polished chrome, or you can just do something like 90 and then hit apply. And it's going to change the way it looks in SketchUp. It's going to stay the same, but when you go to Podium, it's going to show that high gloss finish. So I'm going to hit apply and then close. So after I applied that finish and I changed the reflection, then I just did a quick render. So I click this button right here. And now I want you to see the finished look. And now you can see that I have this metal that looks like a polished chrome, but look how it looks in SketchUp. So Podium recognizes that and will, once you change that reflection, it will change the entire look of the piece. If you feel like you have too much reflection on your metal, or you want it to be more reflection, you can always adjust that. So you would just then go to the properties menu, and then I had it set at 90 before. I could click that eyedropper and then I could change it to 50, or you could even change it to 20, so it just has a very subtle reflection. So just know that you can always adjust that reflection later. So I just want to briefly mention that you can change the reflection of any material in SketchUp. So it doesn't have to be a metal or a mirror. You can see that I painted the base of this floor lamp blue. I could change the reflection of that base so that it appears highly reflective, or so that it looks like it has a gloss finish. I recently worked on a bathroom design for a client, and they had polished Carrera style marble on the floor. So then I was able to paint the floor the Carrera marble and change the reflection to give them an accurate view of what the space is going to look like with a polished marble. So to change this to a high gloss finish, I would again go to the properties in Podium, and then I would click my eyedropper, select that material, and then I would change the reflection. Let's change it to 60%. And then hit apply and close. And then I would hit my rendering button here. And so here you see the finished product. It's highly reflective, but it still has that blue color. So just remember that you can change the reflection on any material in SketchUp using Podium. In this next part of the video, I'm going to show you how to add a simple light to a lamp. And so here you can see the end result, but here you see in SketchUp, you will not see that light until we do a full rendering in Podium. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to add the light within the space. And so I'll show you how to do that. We click on this light icon right here, and this brings up the Podium Light System panel. So here, what we're going to add to the lamp is an Omni light, and that is really probably the closest thing to a light bulb that you would see in a lamp. A spotlight gives us directional lighting. So let's say that you wanted to add a light, you wanted it to reflect on a piece of artwork. You would use the spotlight for that. So we select Omni light for the lamp and the light bulb that would go into the lamp, and then we can select the color. Now the color I usually keep as white, but I do want to let you know that if you click on the three dots here, then you can choose any color of light within this to add into that lamp. Now the next thing that we do is we need to adjust the power. I usually keep the power at 1 or 2, but know that you can adjust it up to 100. You can move this slide bar, or you can simply just type it in the box. After you do that, then you simply hit create and you place your light bulb within the space. So I already have my light bulb in there, but I'll show you how to add that. So I'm going to hit create, and it's going to bring the light bulb into the space. Usually what I will do is that I'll try to snap it to something so that I know that it's going into the actual lamp fixture. And then you have to select in 2 different spaces to give it the height of the light fixture of the lamp. So there I have it floating within the lamp fixture. Now notice that it's sitting on top of this area right here. So what's going to happen is that's going to block some of the light coming down. So then you have to sometimes move the lights that you add. So I'm going to hit move, and then I'm going to start to move my light fixture up, and I'm going to use my arrows because I want it to go directly up. And that's it. That's really how you add an Omni light within a lamp. So remember those key things that you need to usually try to snap to something within your lamp, but then also know to use your arrows to move things up and down, left and right, or wherever you need to go, so that this light fixture is not, or this lamp is not moving freely throughout the space. And just one more thing that I want to mention about adding these light bulbs to lamps. Sometimes you may need a little bit more light, so just know that you can scale these lights up, and that will help increase the intensity. You can also copy these lights. So let's say that you have a very long light fixture, or you maybe have a very linear light fixture, and you want to add a lot of lights together in a row. So you can use the same features that you use in SketchUp to move and copy. You can also use those to copy and move podium lights. So if I wanted to add multiple lights in this lamp, I would hit move, hold down, or hit control so it knows that I'm copying. I would want to make sure that my arrows are selected, so I'm going in a specified direction. And then you can place one light. And then you can put like ×5 or ×10. So that's X10. So watch my distance down here at the bottom. And then it will multiply those lights 5 times. So I wouldn't do this for this particular situation, but that is a quick, easy way to add multiple lights to a light fixture. So just remember, those lights will not show up in SketchUp. You do have to render your scene in order for those lights to appear. So after I added that light, I usually do a quick check and make sure that my rendering and my lighting appears correctly. And so I just click the render, and then this is the finished rendering, showing that the lighting coming from the bottom and the top of the lamp. So I hope that video was helpful to just teach you how to quickly add lighting to your lamps and then reflection to materials using Podium.